having a good conversation with him.
Get him back in.
That's who that guy was.
He was putting in work.
I think he ruined it.
No, he did not ruin it. It's working fine for me. What's going on, guys? Welcome into the DNVR Nuggets pregame show.
First, I'm going to get Harrison a glass of water.
I've been talking a lot today, so my voice is kind of going. We are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Make sure to use code DNVR when you download and sign up for the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It's an official sports betting partner of the NFL, if you guys didn't know. I'm joined tonight by two of my colleagues. Brendan Vogt is to my left.
It's cracking, fellas. The weather's changing.
It is changing. It's also chilly in here. That's another reason why.
It is cold
my
in
voice
here.
is going.
But cold now for me is like, ooh, basketball season. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Also joined by superstar Dev Johnson.
Cold now for me is like, fuck. That's it. That's it.
All right, clip that, Kale. That's our teaser.
I'm
tonight.
with Dev. Winter is my least favorite season, actually. Summer is my favorite season, followed by fall, then spring. Spring, then fall, I don't know. But winter's definitely fourth.
But fellas, basketball season.
Right. Winter does bring the NBA.
That's what's up.
It probably should rank higher. On today's pregame show, Nuggets are in Tulsa. They're not in Oklahoma City. They're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, for a rare preseason back-to-back
At a different location.
against the Thunder. I looked back at the Nuggets schedule. I could not find another back-to-back in the Michael Malone era in preseason. So this is a first for a lot of people.
Well,
first for us.
You'd think it's a first ever. Why would that ever happen? And, I mean, look at the active players tonight. It's a good thing we got this game in, huh?
Yeah. For
Why?
sure.
Sorry, I mean, I'm going to watch it and have fun, but just like coming out of everything they just went through with player safety, it's just incredible that they finally got their normal schedule back and they're like 5 preseason games back to back. To what end?
They just came out with the starting unit, and I knew it was going to be like wacky just because like, you know, so many starters are out, but
All right, give it to us.
man.
Give it to us.
Facu, Austin Rivers,
Okay.
Will,
Okay.
Oh,
Bobo,
Okay.
Zeke at the 5.
let's have fun, dude. Let's get weird.
Okay. I guess we should just start there. We can go into our game notes. We're also going to play real or fake, throw out some half-court heaves, and Dev's going to try to win us some money tonight on preseason basketball. What's your reaction to that starting lineup? No Bones Highland, obviously. That's the headline there.
That's the first thing for sure. And then it'll be interesting, I think, to see Facu with a different group. The way he and that second unit go together, it's not exactly glove on hand, especially without a role threat. However, not sure there's really one here in Pol and Najee either, but it'll be interesting to see Facu with a different set of guys. I think he's struggled so far in this preseason, so curious to see if he looks better, but I mean, Bones is the headline.
Yeah, just for some housekeeping, Nikola's out tonight, Michael Porter's out tonight, Monte's out tonight, the
Aaron Gordon.
2 Greens, Dos Verdes are out tonight, Aaron Gordon's out tonight, PJ Dozier's out tonight. Pretty much all for rest. That's how I'm looking at it, as at least. What's your reaction to that starting lineup, Dev?
So now, like just now thinking about it, it is shocking to me that Bones is not in the starting lineup just because of how much he's played in the preseason. Also, it just appeared that he had jumped over a couple of players.
Sure.
But for them to go with Facu and Austin Rivers, like, it just shows like the respect that they have, that Malone has for those players. And also this is another moment that it's like, this game doesn't matter, but it really does matter to some people. You have to get into a rhythm. You have to showcase yourself, especially against another second unit. Every one of those starters really does need to have a good game tonight because none of them has really showed well in the preseason. So this actually does matter for the Nuggets squad.
And for Barton, just getting back into rhythm, game shape, right? Being in that context.
Yeah.
Environment.
Yeah, it's interesting. This game's... I don't know what's going to happen tonight. There's probably going to be a lot of weird shit that happens. But on the post-game show last night, one of my thoughts was rest all the starters today, play your main bench lineup, get those 5 some chemistry, get those 5 a couple good stretches together. But that's thrown out the window now because Jeff Green's out, JaMychal Green's out, PJ Dozier's out. You're not going to get chemistry with your bench lineup because the full bench lineup isn't playing tonight.
Right.
So... yeah, I wonder if they're just like, Austin Rivers, thanks for re-signing with us on a veterans minimum so we don't have to go into the luxury tax. here's a preseason start.
Yeah, he's still getting minutes. Still getting minutes.
Yeah. But I'm a little disappointed Bones isn't starting. A little disappointed.
I am too. But, I mean, at the same time, everybody's going to play tonight. There's not a lot of able bodies. So you're going to get your allotment of minutes. It's going to be a whole lot of Bones. It's going to be a whole lot of Marcus Howard. There's going to be a whole lot of Bo. So, like, there's going to be a whole bunch of guys.
I think
what was that comment?
I like that comment from Patrick. I was going to bring this up, with the exception of Will, who, of course, still needs to break this seal and get going again. So that's, I think, why he's in there. It's guys that have struggled, I think, a little bit in this preseason. And so that's my thought with Facu Rivers is this is, I mean, it maybe just be another opportunity. He would like to see either, if not both of those guys get going. And frankly, and I'm not out or down on both of them yet, but they haven't to date.
Zeke gets a start tonight. We haven't seen much of him at all this preseason, but he's probably slotted to play like 30 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
And look, the taste of Summer League, I think, is what we're all still thinking about when it comes to Zeke, just because we haven't really seen him this preseason. I asked Michael Malone at practice the other day, like, where does Zeke stand? Do you think what he did at Summer League shooting-wise was an outlier based on how he played his rookie year? And he thought it was, but also said that, Zeke's got to do a lot of work to get in the rotation and get playing time. If we get a good Zeke night, that would feel pretty good, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. And also, I think the difference with Zeke in that Summer League, because this is a Summer League feel, but he's around other guys that, really do know how to play and play in this league at a high level. So he's not just kind of out there with guys that are just trying to prove themselves that are going to end up playing overseas and things like that. So he's going to be, like, fit. And also you get a chance to see him at the 5. It's going to be against backups, but you still get to see him against other teams like big guys, which he'll be in the second unit or in third unit or whatever the case may be. But yeah, this is a get right game for him that he really does. All of these guys really do have to get back, get right, but he really does, especially because he's not really a scorer. So it's like, how do you show all of these other things? You don't have to shoot the ball exceptionally well, but you have to be the defensive anchor.
Yeah. Zeke playing with Facu, he could get set up for some nice pick and pops, I think. Are you excited to watch Bull, or are we kind of just not, like, getting super excited to watch him anymore? Where are you at on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, there's just a ceiling on it, right? Like, I'll stop myself from sending any hype train tweets, but look, he's still a player on the roster. Every time he gets a chance, you want to see him look better than not. We've talked about this so much, but he's just so talented. That's the only reason why this is even still a conversation. So, of course, you'd love to see him play well. But it's Zeke for me. Some confidence. I really think, Bones is certainly not lacking. I think a lot of guys who come into the NBA who are right on that bubble of, am I good enough? The confidence and the system, the environment that they're in can really dictate how the start of their careers go, if not the entire thing. And I think Zeke's a guy who needs to see himself play well and go home and look in the mirror and go, that's right. Like, I can absolutely do this. So I hope to see it.
I'm really, really excited to see Bo in this setting, because when's the next time we're going to see him be able to play 30 minutes or just play a lot of minutes? So this might be our, like, last opportunity for that. Also, we know just, like, how excited of a player that he could be. And then this is a setting. We saw how good he did play in the Summer League. They're going to have to go through him to score the basketball a lot, especially with when Barton gets out of the game. Who are going to be the scoring options for the Nuggets? It's going to be right back to the Bones and Bo show. So this is another showcase-like type of game for him. It's like, go out there and just play.
Yeah. There was a storyline this preseason about Bull turning the corner, being more professional, kind of taking the next step of his career, entering year 3. I wasn't buying that storyline as much as a lot of people were. I think he's taken some strides in some aspects, but based on some stuff I hear, I just wasn't buying it to the full extent that some people were. But I hope he goes out and has a good game tonight, because, hey, he's still a really exciting player to watch. You never quite know what's going to happen.
And you don't want him to play poorly, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't help anyone.
Yeah. Let's move on, guys. Real or fake?
Hell yeah.
Segment number 2. In this segment, I am going to give you a stat, a trend, a takeaway from the preseason. You're going to tell me if it's real or fake, if it's going to carry over to the regular season or if it's not.
Let's do it.
Number 1, I'll start with you, Vogt. Nikola Jokic's 3-point shooting. He's shooting 45% this preseason. everything here is a small sample size, but 5 of 11 from 3. The 3-point shot looks good. Got a nice arc on it. He's taken a lot of them, as are the Nuggets. Do you think he's about to post, one of his better 3-point shooting seasons of his career?
I do. Real. I mean, not 45,
okay,
but 40. Yes. Jokic, we always see it in the playoffs. He is that shooter in the playoffs, if not better. And he has some really interesting quotes and perspectives on it where he has a kind of opposite reaction to pressure where he begins to think less and kind of just sort of do what he knows how to do, just play. And, he's admitted to us, and you can see it on the screen, when he is not overthinking, he is quite literally unstoppable. And so I do think last year in the regular season, we saw long stretches of him just like, oh, I'm in the zone right now. I don't have to think. I can just put this shot up and feel confident. It's an important part of his offensive game plan. I absolutely think 40% is real.
What do you think, Dev? You buy in Jokic being a better 3-point shooter this year?
I say yes. The reason I say yes, the Nuggets aren't a team like those other teams that have a superstar on their squad. They just kind of force feed him and just let him just take tough shots. And like the percentage goes down in that aspect. The Nuggets are a lot different on how they open up the floor, and it's kind of everybody has the green light. Everybody has the ability to go. He also is just such a high IQ player that he knows when to space the floor. Mm-hmm. A lot of those centers can't get out to him. You can't guard him with the forward. You can't guard him with wings. You have to have a center on him. So if he makes if he forces the defense to have to get out there to the 3-point line, he's going to knock it down. If they don't, they're just going to get punished in multiple ways. So I think that's real.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's been a key against when they've gone up against the Jazz in the past. Force the rim protector out, make him respect the 3-point shot. Boom. Passing lanes are wide open. I'll go to you, Dev, first on this one. Right now, Bones Highland, no surprise because he's played the most minutes. He's the only guy on the Nuggets who's played over 100 minutes this preseason. He's taken a team-high 46 shots this preseason so far.
Fake.
I'm going to amend that slightly and say, do you think Bones Highland is going to average the most field goal attempts on Denver's second unit this coming season? So if you think about the second unit, what we think it's going to be, Facu probably, the 2 Greens and Dozier.
That's a tough one, man.
Isn't that a tough one?
That a tough one.
Just because of I think the Dozier aspect of it, because he could get those shots up real quick, and you don't remember his shots. That's what comes up. It'll just say he has 9 or 10 shots, and you're like, where did that come from?
Right.
I do think with the second unit, he's going to be forced to shoot the ball. He's also going to have the ball in his hands a lot. That is so hard. I'm gonna say fake.
Okay.
For now, I think that he has to prove it. He also has to still fight to get into that second unit. So it's gonna take a while. So I'll say fake until it's proven.
Vote.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder if there's gonna be it's PJ's turn kind of thing to start the season, not just from Dozier himself, but that second unit. However, would I be totally surprised? Would I be completely blown away? No. Someone needs to be a finisher, a scorer for that group, and Bones is certainly a player of that pedigree.
It's gotten to a point with the bench unit where that group almost needs Bones to be a game changer on offense.
Right.
They need him to be aggressive. They need him to take a lot of shots. So I think it's probably a little fake. Is he going to lead the bench unit in field goal attempts? I'd be a little surprised still. So I guess I'll say fake also, but he's kind of by default the central offensive focus of that second unit at times. All right, Vote. So far this preseason, the Nuggets are shooting 44.5 3-pointers per game. It's the 5th most in the NBA. Is that real or fake?
So my understanding is that this is one of those stats from preseason that can translate. And so I know we've heard the Nuggets emphasize this for 3 off seasons in a row.
Sure.
I think this is real this time.
Okay.
And I do. Now, what kind of threes? Malone likes to talk about paint threes, right? Penetrate, dish out, healthy threes rather than just some of what we saw from Porter in that last game. And not just Porter, Barton as well, but I do think it's a real point of emphasis, especially with Jamal out. They talk about doing this by committee rather than one guy stepping up. One of the best ways to do that, your collective 3-point frequency rising. If you guys are efficient enough, but I think this group can be.
What do you think, Dev?
I'll say fake. The reason I say fake is because their defense is so bad right now that if you're just jacking threes or if you're just playing to the strength of the opposite team, you're going to get blown out a lot of the nights.
Transition D.
Yeah, that. It just forces a lot of those type of plays. Malone mentally could not just go through a full season where he's just allowing all of these plays to happen so much. So even if it's like better for the team, stat wise, I think like mentally he couldn't like go through with it. I think Jokic couldn't go through it. I think that it would just like it would force them to go away from it just because of their main guys are not going to want to play that way.
Yeah, the problem so far is they just haven't shot a good percentage.
Right. Yeah,
they're towards the bottom in percentage and towards the top in attempts. So with that kind of thing, I bet that they start off the regular season hoisting a lot of threes. If they make a good percentage, maybe they'll keep going. If they miss a lot, maybe Malone will be like, all right, let's rein it back in a little. That's how I could see it going.
I don't think they're going full Rockets or anything, but I think there will be a positive discrepancy from the last season. Yeah.
Let's go to another off-season or preseason item of emphasis for Michael Malone, the pace. So far in the preseason, Nuggets are averaging 102 possessions per game. That ranks 23rd. Last year, they averaged 97.4 possessions per game. That ranked 27th. I'll go first on this one. I think it's fake. I don't think the Nuggets are going to be like that much faster of a team this season. Mainly because they're just so good in the half court. Like, I think they could have a lot of success in transition because when they've gotten out on the break in the past, they just score really well. They get a lot of easy buckets. They've got good athletes. But the Nuggets and Nikola Jokic, they're just kind of a half-court team, I feel like. So I think they'll slow it down again once the season starts.
And if you are preparing for a lot of play-through Jokic, especially without Jamal, Jokic plays slow by preference all day long. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
I'll say I think it's fake. It's the same things that we just talked about, but also this is the first time I feel like in a while that Malone hasn't went out of his way to say we're playing faster or we're not a defensive team, we're an offensive team. That's a joke that he's used for the last couple of years. And now they're actually out there, shooting the ball, like the three ball a lot more. They're being intentional about how they're trying to get out and transition and run. So you would expect him to say it right now with it actually like playing into place, but also that the only way that you win games is if Jokic gets going, if Jokic goes crazy. So you have to go through the strength of your best player, and that's a slow pace type of game.
I see someone saying Joker likes to push pace. He likes to grab rebounds and run and outlet and get it up the floor and all that, but as a half court player, he's a take his time. He's in no rush, and the Nuggets I think are generally a slower half court team.
Somebody that helps with the pace is Bones Highland, though. That guy gets the ball and gets up the court quickly, gets the Nuggets into their offense pretty quickly as well. So if he's on the floor, I think they'll be playing at a pretty fast pace. Monte has been, more of a slower player, more a methodical point guard throughout his time. It's probably going to be on him a lot of the time if the Nuggets are going to be a faster team or not. Let's go to the next segment, Kale. Half-court heaves, guys. Let's throw out some half-court heaves. Look, I don't really know what's going to happen tonight. We'll probably get a lot of end-of-bench minutes. Zeke's going to play a lot. Bull's going to play a lot. Marcus Howard's probably going to play a lot. So I thought we could throw out some half-court heaves of some predictions we think could happen or take place tonight. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I will say that Bobo has more than 2 travel calls. Seriously.
We're going to start out there. Okay. More than 2 travel calls.
Oh, God.
Maybe not that hot of a take.
Someone joked about a Bobo bingo card, which is a 3, a dunk, a block, a step out of bounds, and a travel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's it right there.
And just one of those possessions where he just dribbles through everyone and gets to the rim.
He's so funny, man. He's so weird. How about this? Marcus Howard will hit the game winner this time.
Okay.
Marcus.
Okay. There we go. Connor in the comments on the Marcus Howard train too. Yeah. Play along in the comments. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen for your half-court heave tonight. What is Marcus Howard? 0 of 2 on potential game winners in the preseason so far?
I think so, yeah.
0 of 2.
Which is actually a large sample size. how many game-winning opportunities do end-of-bench players get in a row?
Right. It might be the only 2 he gets with the Nuggets.
I'll say one of my half-court heaves is I think Zeke Naji will be like one of the top 2 players on the court tonight.
Okay.
Dude, that's bold.
The vibes will be great if Zeke Naji has a really good game, man. The vibes will be great.
By the way, I see people asking about watching this game on TV. Not sure if you can do it on television. The Thunder are streaming this game, though.
Yes, the Thunder are streaming it on their actual website, on thunder.com.
So if you need help finding that, we did tweet it out from DNVR Nuggets. You'll find it. Just scroll.
Yeah. Pretty crazy that a team can just stream their game.
Who would've thought?
It's a wild concept.
Yeah.
I wonder not familiar.
If that could. Well, I wonder what context that could be useful in. We'll have to come back to it.
My half-court heave has to do with Will Barton. I think Will Barton will take at least 5 shots in the first quarter. I think he will come out absolutely firing.
That's like a bet that I want to place, actually.
Yeah, over under 5.5 field goal attempts for Barton in the first quarter. I'm a little surprised he's playing on a back-to-back, coming off the ankle injury and whatnot. Obviously, he feels 100% healthy. Nuggets just want to get him, into better game shape and whatnot. But a little surprised he's playing on the back-to-back.
I think that can just tell you that he feels totally fine.
Right.
No swelling, no complications.
And it's not like he played a ton last night.
Sure.
20-something minutes. So
I mean, it's probably more valuable to just let him get used to running up and down the floor right now than putting him back on a bench for another week.
Yeah. Half-court heave?
Do I have any more half-court heaves?
On the spot.
Oh, the Nuggets get their first win of the preseason.
Okay.
That is a half-court. That's a real heave.
That is a 3/4 court heave.
Here's my boldest take of the night. My full court heave. Michael Malone will be very chill tonight, and he'll be very positive in the presser.
Better be.
Win or lose.
You got any more, Dev?
I'll say we'll see 2 Facu floaters today.
Floaters.
Facu
I wouldn't mind, man. That's something he could add to his bag as a guy who struggles.
I was going to say Facu's going to go through Josh Giddey's legs today. Right through the twigs.
Is Giddey playing tonight?
I think so. I think I saw he's playing. Nuggets killer, Josh Giddey. Let's go to the last segment of this pregame show. Superstar Dev is going to try to win us some money on some preseason basketball. Pull out your phones, get on the DraftKings app. If you haven't downloaded it, make sure to use code DNVR when you sign up. Dev, how are we feeling tonight?
So the game started today at -4. It looks like it's pushed all the way up to -5. It was actually -4.5 before we started the show, like minutes before the show. So maybe late money's coming in once people are realizing that people are not going to be playing. The starters are not going to be playing.
I just like the image of late money coming in on a preseason game.
Back-to-back preseason OKC.
What else could it be?
Is that just Andre and RK at home? Just who's doing that?
So the Nuggets are favored by 5 points.
Okay.
Which we seen that happen last night and how that played out. I don't like the favorite or underdog thing, so I'm going to stay away from that. You guys could try to play with that. I'm going to say under 217. I just don't see a way that they're hitting shots the same way that the starters do. That's a regular line for the Nuggets starters, and they're going to be down guys. Also, I think this is a team that, both teams are going to be trying to prove themselves on that defensive end because it's second unit guys, and that's the only way that you can play.
But have you considered overtime, Dev?
I don't think about those things.
All these games have been kind of close, these Nuggets games.
That's the only way that we get punished around
For sure.
here.
I know. It's unbelievable.
Overtime tonight would be rough.
Under was the right bet that time. We just got screwed.
It was. But we did win it last night.
That's right.
We did.
That was my
We
first
got
win
one.
of the preseason.
I feel good about it tonight. I feel good about the under.
Yeah. I've got it. So wait, did you go over or under?
Under.
It's got to be an under tonight, right?
Has to be.
It's got to be an under. It is 217. It's got to be an under, man.
It would be
gotta an under.
hilarious if the Nuggets just look like a well-oiled machine and lay down their
Bench
best
unit just
preseason.
clicks.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be pretty
Marcus
funny.
Howard looks great.
That'd be pretty funny. All right. I think that's all we got for the pregame show. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I think we'll be able to watch this game. I think we'll be able to find the stream somewhere. Of course, we'll be back in the lounge post-game. Us three, breaking it down. Who knows what's going to happen tonight? We'll see. Maybe a Marcus Howard game winner. Maybe not. Talk to you guys after the game.